Topic 4. Topic 4 of the week. Do you want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Make sure you put that interactive demo on your website sometime. I'm telling you, that seriously is a good idea.
The Grinch who stole UFXmas.
Right.
You heard him, Jason. On to topic 4 for real. Me and Travis, a while ago, apparently
Travis and
last Monday, Travis, me, and my computer.
Travis, my computer, and I.
Travis TNT Tangerman and me.
So stubborn.
We got into a conversation about aggro decks versus control decks, and it got me flustered enough to like write it down. I typed the words aggro versus control Travis in our UFS study hall topics. But fuck if I remember what that was.
All right, I got an idea.
Go ahead.
It's, hey, Travis, you should play aggro. Oh, well, I'm more of a control player. I hate how dumb and brain dead aggro decks are. All right, then
I
here,
just want to sit here and do nothing.
play this control deck. But I don't want my brain to melt away with all the thinking I have to do. Then play aggro. Oh, but that's brain dead, and you don't have to think. I don't want to play control. Travis, make up your mind.
Okay, all right. So let's take the shade off of Travis just real fast.
Sorry.
And let's dissect maybe what makes an aggro deck versus what makes a control deck. Can we define these words at all? Like, what do they mean?
So I think aggro and...
In terms of UFS. I don't want to talk about Magic. I don't want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Fuck those games.
Right.
Fuck those games.
I think...
You hear me, Jonathan Konami? Fuck your game.
Yeah, and Robert Pokemon.
Now, don't talk about Bob that way.
Sorry, Bob. Sorry. Fix Sword and Shield, and we'll talk.
Cut this out.
Cut it.
So I think an aggro deck's purpose/goal in this game is to win by turn 3. I think its goal is to build as many foundations as possible, and then on turn 2, if you're not dead, then optimally we have to kill you on the 3rd turn, and then vice versa. I think a control deck's point, or what its purpose, is to make the game last longer than 6 turns.
6? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3?
3 and 3.
3 and 3. Okay.
Yeah. So aggro's trying to beat you before or on turn 6, and control is trying to bring the game past that to minimize its advantage and to minimize its like the point of its deck. Like whether it's through like certain interactions or like devaluing like your opponent's cards.
Travis? Tyler. Sorry, I'm going to ask Tyler first.
All right.
Idiot.
I think
Fuck you, Travis. Sorry.
I'd say aggro. The point of aggro is to it explodes and then peters out. It wants to kill you as quick as possible before it starts to peter out because it's reached a point where it can't do it anymore. And control is I'm gonna stop and whittle until I'm at a point where
It's free.
I win.
It's free to win.
Yeah. Not that pay to win shit, you know.
$1.99 a play. Travis, thoughts?
So I think the very concept of a aggro deck is it wants to kill early and it wants to kill early as often as possible. So I think in UFS at least you want
Which is all we're talking about on this podcast.
Yeah. You want to always aim for that turn 2 sweet spot as an aggro deck. I am of the opinion that if your deck cannot kill on turn 2 consistently when it's given the tools to do so, then it is not a good aggro deck.
I can stand behind that. My deck consistently kills on turn 2, so.
So here is my opinion of aggro versus control.
Loser.
I believe that aggro is not meant to kill on turn 3, but to have constant pressure throughout the game. There should be no point during a aggro turn that we should be. After turn 1, my goal should be to play 2-3 attacks and then build substantial foundations, and those attacks aren't meant to kill you. Those attacks are just meant to be fucking annoying. Those attacks are meant to get me advantage and put you in a bad spot, right? If at any point in my aggressive play that I just go, I ripped 7 gray cards. All right, I'll play all these 7 and then just pass, whatever. Like that sucks. But like, and the reason that sucks is because there's not that constant pressure. Like drawing nothing but a kill, like sculpting a kill turn is something that a quote unquote control player does, or a control deck does. Mm-hmm. So to give the example of what I have right now, I'm playing Scorpion, and my character wants to be inherently aggressive to the point where I'm playing certain type of pokes like Hyperbomb. Hyperbomb is such a beautiful aggressive card. It has a tinge of control because of destroying one of the committed foundations. But could you deal with a Hyperbomb every turn? Yeah. Past turn 4, we'll say? Yeah, you could deal with Hyperbomb. But those first 3 turns, fuck me. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't want to deal with Hyperbomb. And that's just an aggressive tendency. Whatever your follow-ups don't have to necessarily kill, but they have to get you into that threatening range, which is why Scorpion, the deck I'm playing, is so annoying, because I'll play the Syndicate Slice on a 4, check my 4, have 3 ready foundations. I'll pay 2. If you block it, you'll burn 2, I'll draw a card. Oh, you didn't block it? I smacked you for 4. Getting a little closer to my goal of you're dying. It does not necessarily have to be turn 3. I think your combo deck wants to do it turn 3, because after that it totally peters out. But I don't think an aggro deck needs to necessarily be like, well, I've busted my nut on turn 3. You're not dead? I'll scoop them up. I don't think that's how you have to play aggro, to the point where I believe Lord Raptor is an aggro deck. And the reason I believe that is Lord Raptor wants to play at least 1 attack every single fucking turn. And that 1 attack is a real bitch to deal with. No matter, until they get super past turn 3. I have no problem playing a singular Leg Shredder, giving it 2 speed, stunning one of their cards, blowing up one of their cards, giving all these stats, and being like, fucking block this one, tap all your resources to block this 1 4 damage attack. Oh, you did? Then I'll keep going. Did you not? I poked you for 3. It's fine. It'll go in my discard pile. That's 3, 4 more damage until I get to the goal, which is bing, 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 bing.
So
I think... Sorry, no,
I think you
actually have a big long discussion about Lord Raptor, and I apologize. I brought it up, everybody.
I think you actually just described a control deck better than an aggro deck, in the fact that control has a constant pressure whether they draw attacks or not, because it's not an if they're going to kill you, it's a when.
Sure, but I feel like as an aggro deck, so it's as an aggro deck, we have a scale, right? It's not like a singular column. It's like a pendulum swing. I believe that the best aggro decks are not 10-1s, right? I don't believe that Ken is the best deck out there. I believe that something a little more sane is the way to play an aggressive deck, where like Mad Pro is an aggro deck. Like let's think about the old Mad Pro deck, right? It was supposed to kill you on like turn 3, turn 4, but the way that it did it was it poked you a couple times, got those stats, built up the thing, played out some good defense, got a couple momentum, and then it had a really big kill turn 4, turn 5, right? And that's not a control deck. Like, it can't be. Uh-huh. You cannot think Mad Pro's a control deck. But it had the capability, if it wanted to accidentally kill you, which is what I do not believe there's a single control deck in the game that can accidentally kill somebody. I have a Zasamel deck upstairs, or over there, that cannot accidentally kill you. It can't. It's just not possible. Oh, man, how did I do 28 damage? No, I didn't. I built for 8 turns, and then I slowly whittled you down. There are power cards in the game right now that make this easier, right? Missile Launcher is a good control card. But sometimes on turn 3, it accidentally kills you. Lilith is a beautiful control character. But sometimes she accidentally kills you. And I think that's just like we're getting it muddled, right?
So I actually...
Michael's upset with me. Michael's mad.
I 100% agree with you, actually. So, like, the more I think about it, the more I can't immediately put characters or decks into a specific pile of aggro or control, because, like...
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Travis agreed with me. The topic's over.
When I look at Scorpion, so, like, you can look at Scorpion and think, man, this character is a very aggressive character. Totally. But then you look at his abilities again and you think, wow, he could also be a very good control character.
Yeah.
-1 for -2 speed or +2 speed.
That's why I play the deck.
After you beat my ass a little, +6 damage. Man, he can be a very good control character too.
But at locals this past week, I turned 2'd you twice.
You definitely did.
I turned 2'd the fuck out of you 2 times
Yeah.
because I drew the hand where I went, oh, this does 15 to myself. Dead. All right. Well, I'm sure I won't draw another hand like that. That's not how my deck works. Oh, this does 15 to me. Dead.
Yeah.
Not how I intended to play those games at all.
Yeah.
Not how, which like, and I'm gonna call you out because I creep on Discord all day at work, and I see your cute little Mutzo boy. My Scorpio deck is not an aggro deck. Like, it's not. It's not an aggro deck.
I think it is.
I play it aggressively, but I love going to deadlock, man.
He's never played it aggressively against me once.
Well, you got 30 life. Like,
I mean, like, even when I guess I had like 35 life left.
You played 5-handers.
but
Calm
like
down.
the point I'm trying to make is I don't believe that my deck personally is an aggro deck. I believe that sometimes I draw these nut hands where I go, oh, this is a double minion grab into Coffee Samba into From Hell. Yeah, you're dead. Yeah, you're super, super dead.
So,
I think the term for your deck is mid-range.
yeah.
Correct. But like that's not one of the 2 words that we have.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
mid-range gets into the territory of control.
But at the same time,
we definitely have.
get you a bitch you can do both. That's what I'm saying here.
Now selling Scorpion structure decks.
Get you a bitch you can do both.
So, like, I think we definitely have all 3 kinds of decks in this game.
Roll in the streets, aggro in the sheets.
Like,
My apologies. That was a
so
good
like,
one.
I think we definitely have all 3 kinds of decks in this game. We have our aggro decks, our control decks, and our mid-range decks.
Sure.
But I think the lines are a lot more jumbled than in any other card game. So, like, we don't have very dedicated and clear
I'll be back.
lines. Oh, okay. That say this deck is X, this deck is X, this deck is X, unless you want it to be. So, like, at the end of the day, the way you play UFS and the way you build your deck is the way that deck is going to play regardless of what your character is doing. If you're playing Spike 1 under life with Tengu Dive and Scorch Wheel and you want to just go face and kill them, it's an aggro deck. If you're playing Spike 1 under death and you just want to sit there with Telekinetic Mastery behind a wall until you finally kill them, you're playing control.
You're played forward, yeah.
Like, you're playing Water Spike, you're playing a hand hack deck that just accrues value by being the water symbol and eventually kills them, you're playing mid-range.
Michael, do you have something you want to say before I change topics ever so slightly?
I think Travis talked about it a little bit, but I think that the point of a control deck is to poke, build, pass. I think good control decks poke, build, pass, not build, pass, build, pass. I think control decks are supposed to have really annoying attacks that they just like. This is the one attack I'm going to throw this turn. It's going to actually do something. It's not going to just like pewter out. So I know it's a little off of what we were talking about, but I'd have to agree with Travis that I think your aggro and control decks are a little mixed up. That's just my opinion.
I think control decks are supposed to be annoying. Like, that's their whole goal. Is I'm just going to be annoying the entire game.
Yeah, and I still stand by an aggro deck needs to do what it needs to do by turn 3. I don't think that an aggro deck should mess around after turn 3, whether it's their third turn or it is the third turn of the game. And I think control. I think the game is so much easier for control against an aggro deck like past turn 5.
I have something that we might be able to turn into a whole topic because we're already running a little long. We're like an hour 20 on this podcast. Do we want me to save that for next time?
Yeah.
Or okay. All right.
But what is it, though?
You'll find out next time.
No.
All right.
And you'll find out next time. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Study Hall here on UFS University. Give us your opinions on Aggro versus Control. Am I wrong? Is Michael wrong? Is Travis wrong because he agreed with me? You agreed.
I did.
Tyler, I want you to loop it 8 times.
Oh, God, no.
Cameron, I have to agree with you.
What?
What? No, yeah, that was just.
Oh, that was Travis? Oh, thanks, Travis. Appreciate it, man. You sounded a lot like Michael.
That sure sounded an awful lot like Michael.
So with that, do all the cool stuff. Like, share, subscribe, Patreon, YouTube, 3 subs away, and stay learned.
Get learned.
Ben learned.
Goodbye. Have
See
a
you guys.
great and awesome day.
We love you.